Yeah, that looks good. A little overlay, the pick of a low-carb chicken parm. I've been looking forward to this one because cheese and tomato go so well together. Level it up with a little bit of protein from some nice lean chicken. And we've just turned what in some parts of the world is the most ordered dish in restaurants, chicken parmigiano. We are doing our version on it, so it's slightly, lower carb. We don't have the crumb on it, but we've got all the flavor, which is great. So these are nice wintry, warming flavors, and tomato and cheese, super, and then a few little herbs and spices that are just going to level it up. So really looking forward to that. We've got a few minutes to check in, see who all is around. So pop into the comments, say how's it, let me know how you guys are doing. We are halfway through another week and the last week of July before August, can you believe it? So we're winding down. The year is coming to an end fairly quickly at a rapid pace. So we full steam ahead, going hard, and everything is on track. 4 months left for the year. So now's the time to get focused on things. Make sure that everything's on par, that you're working hard, that you've got all your foundations, hopefully getting better in the kitchen every Wednesday and every Monday, and spending the time with us. So we'll run through what's all in the ingredients. You can see them scrolling along the bottom there. And there's not a lot of prep to do here. Apart from portioning things out. So just your garlic and your onion, you can get chopping on those. I haven't roasted my red pepper yet. I'm going to show you how to do it over some gas if you've got it. Otherwise, you can cook it under the grill for a couple of minutes. We're just going to get some flavor out of it, but it's super easy. And pretty much one pan. We're just cooking our veg separately, so that's the only thing different that you'll need another pan for. But other than that, it's super easy. Charmaine Gray, good evening to you. How are you doing? Seema is here. Good evening. Pat Governor. It wouldn't be a Jeff Cook if you weren't here saying, how's it? Leslie Downs, hello. Hope you're doing well as well. Carla Mendez, excited for tonight's cook. Just watching for now. This will be Sunday at lunch. Beautiful. So I'm cooking 4 portions. There are less of those in the house tonight. There are only 2 of us. So it's going to make a nice lunch actually to carry over. So you can follow the recipe. It was for 4 people. And then just have some for lunch next day if you want to. Or it's a good lunch on the weekend and you've got a bit of time as well. Gabrielle from Hamburg. Beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Is there anyone else from outside of the country? Always nice to have you guys with us. Shireen, how are you? Any first timers as well? Who hasn't done a Jeff Cook with us before? Mapule, how's it going? Ava, cheers. Hopefully that brandy's going down, or the whiskey, sorry, is going down well in the Pindans for you. It's a chilly one, so it's well deserved. Candice, how are you? Amanda's looking forward to this one as well. Minnie Creek, hello. So you guys are, for many of you, some of you it might be the first week of the challenge, the others we are in week 3, most of our 21-day or all of our 21-day challenges. Week 3, so a nice week to kind of solidify all the hard work that you've put in. Hopefully this is another recipe that you can bank as well. So that's what's going to be an upside. And then you've got a little bit of time to kind of gather your thoughts, and in 2 weeks' time we're going to roll out with another bunch of challenges. So this might pop into your menus. Let's see what happens. Taryn, how's it going? Just watching tonight. Thanks for joining anyway. Lauren and the Freitas, good evening. Shannon just made it. How did it turn out, Shannon? Let us know. Hopefully it was as good as I hope it's going to be. Adele, how are you? Saying it's going to be great. Others Adele, hello. Caitlin, hello, tonight's So I'll run you through the ingredients. If there's anything you don't have on hand yet, you can scurry around and put it together. Maybe just chop an onion and chop some garlic if you haven't got there yet. We'll bring up here what all the ingredients kind of look like, and you can see what's happening. So I've obviously got my 4 chicken breasts, right? So we're going to serve 4 people. Mozzarella. Now a chicken parmesan is obviously Parmesan's the cheese, but normally a combination or one of any of the cheeses of mozzarella, could be Parmesan or provolone, could be a combination of all of them or one of them. This low carb mozzarella is quite a nice one because decent source of protein, low fat, so good sort of lean option, which is super. It wasn't on your recipe list, but I've got a little bit of grated Parmesan, grated hard cheese that I'm going to add in there just for some flavor. The hard cheese is nice because it gives you flavor without having to use too much of it. And if you saw my post on Instagram this morning, did a polenta breakfast. So switched out the porridge oats for some polenta with some Parmesan. So still got it. So I'm throwing it into dinner tonight. So if you haven't, go check it out. It was super lovely little brekkie. Then we've got a chopped onion, red or brown, either way. 4 cloves of garlic, so nice heavy garlic because it's winter and we want to keep our immune system firing. We've got a sort of tablespoon or 2 of chopped parsley that's going to go on right at the end. Our not yet roasted red pepper, I'm just going to stick that directly on the gas and get it a little bit charred, and that's going to go in. But you can stick it under the grill, or you can roast it. You can do kind of whatever you want with that. Some tomato puree or passata. We want 400 grams of that, so I've got 2 of these bad boys. The greens I'm going to serve it with will be some broccoli with a squeeze of lemon. Tomato paste is also going to go in there. Chili flakes or red pepper flakes if you want it for the flavor or the heat. Otherwise, you can leave it out. And then our spice mixes. We have half a teaspoon of the white powder you can see there is onion powder, and a teaspoon of paprika, and then a nice big whack of Italian seasoning, or it can be a mix of like dried oregano and basil and those sorts of dried things that you've got, but it's sort of Italian, which is nice. And that's it. So nice flavors, nice colors, everything's there, ready to go. And if you need to dice your onion, get that done. If you need to do your garlic, get that done. Other than that, we don't have to start just yet. It should come together nice and quickly as well. We're going to cook the chicken, then we're going to start the sauce, put the chicken back in, top it with cheese, and under the grill, and we'll be done. Ready to rock and roll. Hella, how are you? Signing in for TTs, I assume Tony's Transformers. Would love to try this. Well, why aren't you trying it with us? Let's do that, Hella. Caitlin, going to make it on the weekend, but watching to see how it's done. Jolene, who just won a prize with us on our challenge. Hopefully looking forward to a little coffee hamper. Gabriella, organic chicken is so expensive in Germany. This will be a treat. Organic chicken is expensive anywhere. The legislation there might be a bit different here. So we get away with free range. They don't have to jump through as many hoops as organic is. But our free range isn't too bad. Marita, good evening to you as well. Nancy, Joy is here. Another familiar name and face. We've been lucky enough to meet you a few times. Who else? Candace is here. Nancy is saying hello to you. Oh, he is here. There he is, the captain himself, John O'Mankeys. Beautiful. Who's training hard for the London Marathon. Dropped me this weekend. We were supposed to go for a nice run, so you owe me one, Jono. I need to sleep in. He went too early with me. Chris, how are you doing? Almost home. Almost home wife. Does that mean that the wife has to come home and cook dinner for you, or she's almost home and you're going to surprise her with a lovely little dinner? Charlene, looking forward to this as well. Olga, good evening. You did this a little bit earlier, so watching to see if you did it right. Doesn't matter how you did it. It's if it tastes good once it's on your plate. So let us know. Hopefully it does. Kath, good evening to you as well. Shannon from Dom's Dot Chasers. Dom was raving about this recipe. Beautiful. So hopefully you're cooking with us. Joy is part of the A team. Cara, good evening. Signing in just for me. And you are the important one, Cara. So hopefully you're cooking for yourself and maybe whoever else is in the house. And it's one that you're going to enjoy. Charlene for Nicole's Ninjas. Beautiful. Laura, roast chicken, but loving the company while prepping my veggies. So just here for the chat, which is beautiful. What veggies are you doing with your roast chicken for the evening? Shannon's been loving the chicken chickpea cauliflower curry. Whole family's officially eating the Jeff menu. Yes, beautiful. I love it. That was one that we whipped up last week. A spin on a couple of other chickpea curries and cauliflower curries and chicken curries that we've got going. But they all work so well together. So go check out that recipe on the app if you haven't seen it. Kath, Lizzie's bomb squad. Lorita for Amy and Durkee's strength challenge. Beautiful. Noel, how are you? Leslie, you're home. I think Chris was just waiting for you, or one that way around. But at least one of you is hopefully going to be cooking with us tonight. Coach Kim, how's it going? With the kids in the kitchen, lovely. We've got a little sickly child, so unfortunately my head chef is looking after a sick child for the evening. So it's just me. You guys have to put up with me for the next half an hour. Chris is almost home to help. All right, so you're coming around to me, Chris. I need some help. Come pop in. All right. So I'll get lovely to see everyone checking in. I'll get to all the comments as we go. All I want to get started with is roasting my red pepper. So if you've got a grill, just cut it in half and stick it nice and tight under there so the outside of it can blister. Or if you roast it in advance, it is beautiful. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick it straight onto some gas and cook it while we do everything else. So let's fire it up. Okay, and you should see in this one, that one, the gas is going, and I'm literally just going to stick that straight on there and let it burn a bit. So I want it to blister slightly, and it just sweetens it up nicely, gives a charred little flavor. That and the paprika will go so well in this dish. If you don't have gas, that's fine. Just stick it under your grill. Maybe you cooked it in advance. Really popping behind you. So just keep turning it so that it gets nice and evenly kind of blistered. You have a beautiful sort of smoky flavor from that. It's cool. Nancy, thank you very much. Children get better soon as to a couple of temperatures going on here, so hopefully it's nothing too untoward. Kath loves how we use the Jeff platform to send messages to the family. So Chris was reminding his wife that he was almost home, and he knew she'd be watching, so she could see the message here. Adele, how's it going? So Laura, you're having roast potatoes, butternut, and Brussels sprouts. Classic. Beautiful. Chantal's here from Dane's Diehards. Sharon, how are you? Also on our course at the moment, so we're into the first week of our nutritional course. Sharon is on that. Don't know if there are any other names I've seen here that have also jumped onto our nutrition course. And Liz is running hers as well. Which is a beautiful, all about positivity and self-image. And if there's anyone on that as well, let me know. All right. So everyone seems like they are ready to cook. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to keep an eye on my pepper as it goes here. See there? That's what I'm looking for. Just some nice black charring, just to bring out a little bit of flavor. So that's going to go into the tomato sauce that forms the base of the chicken parmigiano. Then we've got 4 chicken breasts, and you can just season them and pop them in. What I'm actually going to do is flatten them slightly, just so they cook a little quicker and a little bit more evenly. So if you've got something like a bottle, a wine bottle you haven't yet drunk, or you've got a good little hammer, you can just knock them down slightly. You can see all the shaking on this camera as I do that. But I just want them to kind of be the same thickness throughout, just because it's going to cook a little bit better for me. Okay. So there's one. Right, so I'm just going to do that to the rest quickly. Now a classic chicken parm has the bread crumb to kind of make it crispy, but I really don't think that you miss out by doing it. Yes, Nancy, they are defrosted. They just came in a little plastic wrapper. They're all defrosted. It normally has chicken parm. Normally has a little breadcrumb crust, but like I said, I don't think you really miss out much by not having it there, and we're able to save some energy off it because we're getting flavor, we're getting all sorts of other things in there, so it's magic in there. All right, so let me move this across and see what's going on. We've got 4 of those, and they're going to get some salt and pepper. They're going to get your onion powder and your paprika, and then half of the Italian seasoning, because the other half we're just going to save to go into the sauce a little bit later. Okay, so there is my paprika and onion powder. I'm just going to mix them together so I can sprinkle them over and do both sides, and then we'll stick them into the pan. Okay, that's one side done. Okay. If you don't have onion powder, don't stress. We have used it a fair few times in different recipes, so hopefully a lot of these spices means you've got a well-stocked spice rack. It's just a nice way to level up your food. Just add a little extra flavor. Right. Okay, a bit of salt and pepper on that side as well. And then that's going to go into the pan for 6 to 8 minutes. We're just going to cook it nice and evenly, and then take it out and get going in the sauce. So just keeping that all going. All right, chicken seasoned. Hopefully you're all on that. Pan, medium heat, a little bit of oil, and we're going to start cooking it. Okay, so you can see we've got that going there. Adrian in the background is doing some magic. We've leveled up with 3 cameras tonight. So hopefully it gives us a nice sweet transition between everything here. A little bit of olive oil in the pan. And then our chicken's going to go in with that. Okay. Guys ready? Chicken, pan. Kelly does Greer cook. She does. She's a very good cook. She doesn't always back herself, but she is a good cook. And she does most of these nights anyway. I'm normally the one just talking rubbish in front of the camera, and she's the one that's slaving away. So now I've got to pick up the slack tonight. Okay, so chicken just into the pan. And we're going to leave it there for a little while. Don't fiddle too much. One of the things I was chatting to Kate about this with our challenge we've been doing, and her pancakes she's been making beautifully. One of the things we often do is fiddle too much around on the pan. You don't have to mix it around, and it just changes the heat and it doesn't cook through nicely. Just put it in there, leave it for a little bit, and we'll catch up with it in a little bit. Okay. So our pepper's nearly done. And then what we're going to do is once the chicken's cooked and ready to come out, which will just take sort of another 6 minutes, we're going to put all of our lovely flavor in there, our onion, our garlic, our tomatoes, and make a nice sauce, get that going, reducing down. Chicken will go in, a bit of mozzarella and parmesan on top, and under the grill. Simple as that. And we're going to be ready to go. Right. Leanne Simon saying hi, how's it going? Chris was on his way home from coaching, just checking it. Nancy, you have to read your 8 and 2 and no donkey pics. You guys just having a bit of banter there, love it. Yes, got to those questions. Shannon, the camera angles are so helpful, thank you. Beautiful, that's the important bit. Just trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys and for me, so I don't have to walk around holding cameras every day. Fiona, yes, you're another one of our winter warmer challenges. You're doing so well. Last few days, can you believe it? Nancy, that is the nice thing about gas. It's much faster. Coach Kim, I actually didn't know you were doing a course. Fantastic. Glad it's going well. Been filming flat out for that. We've got some interesting topics coming up. Yeah. Right, just about to finish off that. You can see it's nice and black and charred there. Beautiful. It's going to give so much nice flavor that's going to be in those red peppers. And that, when it goes into the tomato sauce, just takes it to another level, which is fantastic. So if your peppers are under the grill, just keep an eye on them, or if you've roasted them, you can just chop them up into nice little cubes and they'll be ready to go. Otherwise, it should be close. Okay. Look at that. Beautiful. There's that smell of red pepper that just is amazing. It brings out the sweetness and the smokiness, and it's absolutely brilliant. Shannon, that's the course that we've just launched. So this week is week number 1. We are taking a few later entries, guys. So if you haven't jumped on and you want to jump on, it's 2 weeks. You'll just have to catch up the last sort of 3 days of info. 15 minutes videos every day on the topic. So far, we've covered things like energy balance. We started with protein. We've defined food and nutrition and diets a little bit, and we're going to build up. Look at our other macronutrients, and then looking at what food does in your body, why we need it, ins and outs of different aspects of it, a bit of supplementation, exercise, nutrition. There's loads. It's a really full-on sort of a whole heap of golden nuggets that are in there. Shannon, the next one running, most probably next month. So after this one's finished, it's 2 weeks. If everyone loves it and it's good enough, I'll do it again. Why not? All right. Kim's going to give you a call. Beautiful. Candace, going to try that tomorrow, whatever Tracy did. I missed whatever Tracy did. Sue, you can smell it. Beautiful. Estelle, yes, for the winter winners on our challenge as well. You might be a bit biased, but it's the best challenge ever. I'm going to have to agree with you. And that might also be a bit biased, but hey. Okay, I'm just going to flip the chicken. It's been going for 4 minutes. You can see a nice bit of color there. Get a little bit closer. Lovely color on the outside. I'm going to cook it for another 4 minutes on the other side while I chop my lovely red pepper. I think a little grilled red pepper is really one of my favorite things. That took, 5 minutes? And if you don't have gas, it obviously will take a little bit longer to roast. And it's just such a lovely way to bring out some flavor with that. So I'm gonna just chop it so it's smallish cubes, but still chunky. Everything else in the sauce, because it's a tomato puree, is kind of a very smooth consistency. So I like things with different textures. So that's going to give a little bit of bulk into the sauce. Right. And once that's ready to go and the chicken's out, we're just going to start with the onions and garlic and all the tomatoes and bring it all together. That's that. Lovely. Okay, so you can see my lovely little patch of red peppers. All right, let's see if anyone's chatting over here. Waiting for our Candace, loving the course as well. Beautiful, Candace. Thank you for that. Estelle, how do you roast that pepper? Busy cutting yours now. So I roasted it whole, just straight on the gas. And so if you've got a gas hob, just stick the pepper right on top of it, just so on the little pot stand, and just turn it every sort of minute or so until it gets nice and dark. And otherwise, if you don't have gas, put your grill on hot, get it right under the grill, so the skin side is facing up, and it'll just start to blister and bubble and turn black, and it'll be a pepper ready to go. Sharon's loving the course as well. Beautiful. Everyone's a little bit biased here, aren't you, Jim? But that's okay. I'm not judging anyone. Laura, it's a great course. Everyone should have the opportunity to attend for sure. Thank you for that. Kelly says things are looking good in the kitchen. Nancy, if you do Sarah and Rebecca's challenge vibe with your tribe, you'll change your mind. Hey, Nancy, all the courses are good though, but yes, Sarah and Bex are absolutely blowing it out the water. I'm loving what they're doing, and it really is super. Joy, yeah, if you've chopped them already, obviously that won't stick on your on top of your flame, so stick it in the oven under the grill. There's a little tongue twister here, Lisa. You love Adrian Nomical and Kate Delicious. Where's Kate? She should be chopping. She should. Now that she knows how to hold a knife, she should have been here. But we hopefully have a little special one lined up for next Wednesday. I'll keep you guys posted. And I'm going to get her sweating in the kitchen. Kat's also doing the nutrition course. Interesting. 15 minutes, but it takes you 30 minutes. You keep pausing and having to rewind, Kat. You thought you knew a lot, but you're learning so much every day. Beautiful. And only day 3. Lisa also loves grilled peppers and tomatoes. Okay, before I forget about my chicken, lovely color there, you can see it. I'm going to take them out and just let them rest. They will carry on cooking just while they're sitting here, so but it has been 8 minutes on the dot. That's what I said it should be. So that's it. Okay, just going to drop the heat slightly. And in the same pan, we're going to start with the onion and garlic. Right, so that's our one chopped onion. Can be brown or white or yellow or whatever you call that color, or red. Either of them are fine. I've got a red one because it was in the cupboard. And red gives you a slightly sweeter taste. The brown onion will be a little bit more savory. So you'll just get a slightly different flavor, but both of them are cool. Kate doesn't like cooking. We're slowly turning her, Nancy. She's starting to kind of get into the hang of it. So we'll have to keep her going. Sandra, great recipe. Does that mean you've tried it already? Moira, hello. Fiona, the pancakes. Yeah, if you watched Kate doing her little pancake session, she had a few blowouts. Kate isn't here; she's not in the comments, so she can't defend herself. But she knows that I give her ears. But she had another crack at them this morning or yesterday morning, one of the two, and they were perfect, absolutely beautiful. And if you're on our challenge, hopefully you posted your pancake pics to enter the competition to win that pancake mixture from Just Protein. Noel, I left the skin on. If you're not too fond of a little smoky flavor, you can take the skin off. But there's a lot of flavor and there's also fiber in it, so that's why I keep it. Okay. So that onion, we're just going to give it a couple minutes and then we'll add the garlic. Estelle said you must see a protein pancakes. Yes, exactly. It's practice. So she's had a few goes at it and now she's got it nailed. So that's what it's about. That's why we want everyone in the kitchen. Things come right. Just stick with it. Trust the process, as the Cappy would say, and you'll nail it. Charlene's loving the one-on-one Fiercely Feminine challenge with Jules. It is a ripper as well. Pat says most challenges are epic. We've got such a beautiful team of human beings that are running these challenges, creating them, designing them, filming them, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes. They are actually all so good. So it's worth going through any and every one that kind of comes up so that you get a taste of everyone differently. Shannon, is it better to grill the pepper while under the grill or chopped? I'm going to try to work out what you're asking there quickly. Is it better to grill the pepper while under the grill or chopped? Don't really know what you mean there, but cut it in half and grill it. Or you can cut it into little cubes and grill it. It doesn't really matter. You just want it to cook before you get it into your tomato sauce. Right. Nancy, do your tomatoes go soft, 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 almost flat? What tomatoes? We've got tomato puree and paste. If you've used whole tomatoes, then yes, cook them until they're soft, 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 so you can mush them up. Kim says the kitchen's smelling delicious. Kids are watching every move and helping with the chopping. You've got to get them involved. Let them have a little bit of fun with you. Right. So those onions are starting to soften. I'm just going to give them a minute before I add the garlic. Kelly, exciting little teaser for next week, isn't it? Just. All right. Joy, jealous, and you struggle. What are you struggling with, Joy? Let me know. Michelle will pop in and say hi in between the crazy hour. Yes, we all have that now between 6 and 7. Amanda, did you remove all the pips? I pulled out the middle bit of it, yes, on the pepper. So I just took that bit out and then chopped it. So the pips are out. Yes, it's a red pepper. You could use yellow or green if you wanted to. Personally, I don't like the flavor of green pepper, really. I love green pepper, whatever. What did I just say? I don't really like green pepper flavor. I think I might have just said that. But I love red and yellow pepper. So I'll always go with those ones instead. Tessa, does it matter if the chicken isn't cooked through at this point? So if it was a little bit thicker, not quite cooked through, it's fine. You can just, once it goes back into the tomato sauce, just leave it cooking in there for a little while. It's still going to go under the grill for another 2 minutes as well. But while it sits here, it should still cook through a little bit. I'll check mine in a minute. Kelly, also spoilt. Michelle's so proud of Coach Kate, the pancake queen. Lisa Marie agrees with me. The team is epic. Jolene, your kitchen is smelling fantastic. All right, I'm going to get my garlic in with the onions. Okay, that's in there. A little bit more heat, it's gone a little bit quiet when you're there. And you'll remember we always add the garlic after the onion because it can burn if you put it in with the onion and cook it at the same heat that the onion gets. So we just want it in there until it's nice, smells great, that aromatics starts hitting your nose, it's a little bit translucent, and then we're going to get involved with all of our tomato stuff. And the remaining little bits of your Italian seasoning. All right. Almost drop that. Okay. The Italian seasonings. So, if you've got passata, these little tomato puree, it's the same thing, these little Woolies ones. Otherwise, you get them in a tin. You also get them in jars. Or if you couldn't find it, you can just use tinned tomatoes. If you don't mind them being a little bit chunkier, that's fine. Otherwise, just with your tinned chopped tomatoes, stick them in your blender or your smoothie machine or whatever, and just blend them up until they're pureed. And that's what we're going to use to stick in there with some tomato paste and the rest of our Italian seasoning. All right, so that's what's going to happen next. Okay, so tomato is going in. Both of them, so it's about 400 grams for 2 of these tubs. Okay. And then why we use tomato paste is because it gives you a lovely rich tomato flavor. So you get a lot of the kind of flavor and texture from there, but the paste just levels it up a little bit. So here's my little spoon. So a nice good bucket of that. It's going to go in there as well. And then the other half of your Italian seasoning. Okay. Right, and tomato needs seasoning, so your salt and pepper. You have seasoned your chicken breasts, but make sure you put a little bit of that into your tomato sauce as well. Okay, that was the salt and the pepper. As generous as you want to be. Right. Jolene, yes, your kitchen is smelling good. Joy saying, how's it? Candace has popped the challenge link into there if anyone wants to sign up for Jules and Kerry's Back on Track 45-day challenge. That one is going to be superb, and we're still open until tomorrow night. Paolo, how's it going? You use chicken thighs. Lovely. My favorite cut of chicken is actually chicken thighs. And nice to see you here with us. Haven't seen the name pop up in a while. It was also smelling good. Fantastic. Mel says it's going to be yummy. Janet made this earlier. It was really delicious. Kriya needs a competition between her and me. All right. What are we going to put on it? We're going to have to put something on it. Yeah. So just want to taste the tomato sauce. Remember, you always want to taste, because that's how you can adjust your flavors and everything that's going on there. So it tastes quite nice. Seasoned, there's a bit of salt, there's a bit of pepper going on there. At the end, the other option was adding some red pepper or chili flakes. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in just for some heat. Okay, if you're cooking for the kids, just maybe leave it out. Okay, and as you can grill nice and hot. Okay. My red peppers haven't yet gone in. They're going to go in now with all of that tomato as well. That in there. So we're going to get some nice texture and that smokiness. It's going to be super. We'll just give it a minute, and then we're going to cheese up our chicken and pop that in. Here we go. All right, how are you guys doing? Everyone on track? Super. Okay, so if you want, you can just check how your chicken's cooked. I'm going to show you. See, mine is cooked through beautifully. So we had 8 minutes. There's 4 minutes each side, and that looks fantastic. So it's A away. I'm just going to put them in the pan with the tomato sauce. Sprinkle on a little bit of Parmesan. If you've got it, that's cool. If you don't, it's all right. Seaman, you can use chili powder if you want that nice hit there. It doesn't have to be chili flakes. It'll be perfect. And then we're going to top it with our mozzarella. Okay, so chicken in the pan. Right. And then a little bit of Parmesan. Or if you don't have Parmesan, just start putting your mozzarella. That's lovely, just going to give us some nice flavor. And then our mozzarella. That's going to melt beautifully. You can grate it. I just decided to slice this so that it looks a little bit better when it melts. But either's fine. Okay. And then while that does its thing under the grill, we're just going to fry up some greens and then you'll be ready to go. Okay. Lovely. Fiona made this earlier. It's delicious. Estelle's recipe said 8 minutes aside. Just depends on the thickness, because I've flattened it a little bit, cooks a little bit quicker. 4 to 6 minutes aside, the rest might have been a little bit of a mistake, but 8 minutes in total. Right. Just slice into one and make sure if it's a little bit pink, it's okay. If it's raw, cook it for a bit longer, because it's still going to cook now when it goes under the grill. Yeah. So, my parm. Just want to get the rack right under the grill. Right, and that's one of the beautiful things about having a pan that doesn't have a plastic handle. You can cook it on top, stick it under the bottom. Obviously, if your pan's got a plastic handle, you're going to have to transfer it to another pan first. Right. So that's going to just be a couple of minutes. I'm going to flash fry whatever greens you want to use, any veg really that you just want to bulk this up with. I'm going to use some lovely tender stem broccoli. And that's just going to go into the pan, a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to squeeze over some lemon once it's done, and you'll be ready to serve. Right. Is everyone on track? Still going well. Tessa, yummy, the kitchen's smelling amazing. Charlene says it looks delicious, beautiful. Fiona had it. Right. So, let's do our greens quick. So a little bit of olive oil. Favorite way of cooking tender stem broccoli is this, just flash fry with it. You can also level it up. You can grate in some garlic, you can grate in some ginger, you can get some sesame seeds, you can do a little bit of soy sauce in here. I'm keeping it simple. Green, it's just the greens, bit of salt, squeeze of lemon once we're done, and that's it. Right. But the frying of it just adds a nice dimension. Just let the pan heat up quickly, and then it'll be almost ready to rock and roll. And we can plate and enjoy dinner. Is everyone on track? Charlene says it looks delicious. Beautiful. Hopefully everyone's kitchen smells like mine does, smelling really nice. Yeah. So the greens are in. If you're using green beans, you can do it the same way. However you really want to, you could do anything this way. They'll be quick and easy. And just check on your chicken that's under the grill. See how it's going. Whoa. Melted cheese must be one of life's great pleasures. The kids had a little cheese sandwich. We did a Jeff Ed not so long ago that was a tomato and ricotta soup with my cheese sandwich. I grew up on cheese sandwiches at school, and they still bring back such good memories. But it's just melted cheese, a little stringiness and beautiful flavor. It's my mouth watering. Estelle's a bit behind, but getting there. Spelling delicious and smelling delicious. You did both. Charlene has read that one. Leslie on track and smelling yummy. Joy mixed green beans with broccoli rice. Good way to go. Okay. So those guys will just need a minute to fry through. A little bit of lemon juice. So lemons in half. And that's just going to get squeezed on once we finished with our greens. Adele, we're going to try this for lunchtime sometime. Nice thing about this, you can do a fair bit of it. You can do sort of multiple portions of it and just have some today, keep some for lunch tomorrow. It's ready to go. You can slice it up and put it onto a wrap or a sandwich or a salad or a grain, something like this. So many ways you can go with it. There's tomato, chicken, it's all there. Flavor, you're just going to heat it up. Cool. I reckon we're going to plate. Okay. Let me show you this over here. Look at that beauty. It's a heavy pan. Can't hold it. It's a little forearm workout there. But that's beautiful. Just melted so nicely. We're going to portion it out. One of those, bit of greens, and you're going to be ready. Okay, how's everyone going? Coach Kim says it's looking good. You're doing yours with steamed green beans and a squeeze of lemon. Definitely having some extra for lunch. And one thing, please always remember that the pan that you've taken out the oven is hot. I don't know how many times I've burnt my hand, but I was about to go grab it now again. Not thinking. So the best thing to do, once it's out the oven, is leave a cloth on the handle because it will remind you that you need to pick it up. It's a very unpleasant thing to do. So our greens, we'll pop those on. Right. Little squeeze of lemon there. Okay. And then we're going to serve our chicken. Oh, string cheese. Get a little bit of that sauce. Okay, and if you wanted to level this up with a bit more energy, a little bit more fuel, you could serve it with some potato or some rice or something like that. You can do it quite well. Just going to get that sauce over there. Okay, and that is us. Some lovely greens with our melted cheese, tomato base, beautifully cooked chicken, some greens for flavor. Get it there for you guys. And that was it. So, it smells amazing. I'm actually very hungry now as well. I'm really looking forward to this one. Tracy says dinner is served. Candace says it looks so good. Guys, post your pics. I love to see what you come up with, what it all looks like. We're going to tuck in and have a beautiful warming meal for this cold winter day. Our fireplace is going and we're ready to rock and roll it. So let me know how it goes. Stick your pics up, tag me in it, stick into Jeff Nourish and Jeff together, and love seeing what you guys come up with. Hopefully this is another banker for what you put into your recipe books. We'll be back next week, hopefully with a little special edition. I'll keep you posted on that. Remember, still challenge, Jules and Kerry's challenge is still open to sign up. 45-day challenge will kick off next week. It's going to be epic, amazing prize as well. If you're in the last week of your 21-day challenge, keep going, guys. The finish line is in sight. Hopefully it's helps we get there. Right. Have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you guys all next week. Cheers for now.